Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Carhartt Legacy Standard Backpack. And this is a brand that I've heard of before, but I'll admit I wasn't as familiar with. I know they're a pretty popular brand, and I was very intrigued when I was scrolling through Amazon and I saw this pop up in my feed, particularly the price point. I'm always on the lookout for bags that come in at under $100. I know on the channel we feature a lot of premium price bags, but I always like to kind of showcase bags for anybody who has a little bit of a tighter budget that still wants something reliable and versatile. This bag seemed to offer a nice mix of features for its price point, so I went ahead and ordered it. I've been testing it out for the past couple of weeks, and in this video I'm going to be talking about my experience using it. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through the different features that it has, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the bag, I really like the overall aesthetic. To me, this has a little bit more of an old school vibe. It reminds me a little bit of the JanSport backpacks that I would use back in the day. It's more of a functional backpack. It's not super sleek or modern or minimal, but I think it works well for the type of bag that this is, and it's still something that I think is gonna be versatile enough to take into many different environments, whether you're going onto a job site, walking around campus, exploring a city, or traveling. As far as the materials, the bag feels pretty solidly built, especially considering the price point. This exterior fabric is a 1200D polyester that also has a DWR coating to provide you with some weather resistance. The material feels fairly lightweight, especially considering the size of the bag. On the bottom, you also have a reinforced Duravax material, which is going to give you some peace of mind when you're placing the bag down. And then you also have some nice YKK zippers all throughout. Continuing along the outside of the bag, you have the Carhartt logo on the front, and I like that this isn't super big and it's kind of out of the way, so it's fairly subtle. And then I really like that you have two external water bottle pockets. They're made out of this meshy material, which is elastic and is going to allow you to store water bottles of various sizes. For me, I have the same 20-ounce water bottle that you've seen in a lot of my other daily bag videos. It fits in there pretty comfortably. These are also going to be a good spot to hold something like an umbrella. You can see how much these compartments come up. They are a little bit more shallow than I would like to see. I wish they were slightly taller, but in general, they do a good job of providing quick access to the items that you might want to get to. Moving into the capacity, the bag to me feels like it comes in at around 24 to 26 liters, so it's a versatile size that's going to be able to hold everything that you might need to carry with you on your day-to-day and still have a little bit of leftover space. And the bag does tend to stick out a little bit when it gets more packed out, but it's not super overwhelming, and it should still be okay for carrying onto public transit, walking around crowded areas, or carrying onto pretty much any domestic or international airline. Continuing on with the straps and the back paneling, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. I like how the straps have been implemented here. They have a nice amount of padding. They're really thick and soft right out of the box, and you have this air mesh on the inside to help prevent moisture from building up. The straps also have a nice width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders. There is no sternum strap included with the bag or the ability to add one. You do, however, have some little loops here where you'll be able to attach additional accessories such as a light, or in my case, I've actually been attaching a little hand sanitizer. Taking a look at the back paneling, this has also felt pretty comfortable. I really like the amount of padding that's been included here. It also has the same meshy material that we saw on the straps, which is going to, provide some breathability. And although there's not huge air channels on the back, you do have a little bit of ventilation here to create some airflow while you're walking around throughout the day. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag has a fairly simple but effective pocket layout. On the front, you have two quick access pockets. I'll start on the top one here. This is going to be a perfect spot to hold your sunglasses. That's what I have here. I have my case. They fit in there comfortably. This is also going to be a nice spot to put something like some headphones, a portable battery, anything that you need to grab quickly during your day-to-day. No additional organization or anything in here, but I do like the amount of volume that this provides. And then below that, you have a slightly larger compartment. It has a zipper that opens up wide enough so that you can see everything that's in the compartment. In here, because of the volume that this has, I just threw some of the bulkier items that I normally like to carry with me. So I have a little tin that has some Band-Aids and ointment. I also have my GoPro. Behind that, I threw in a simple deck of playing cards, and then next to that I have my Tom Bin Ghost Wheel pouch, which just has some of the smaller EDC and tech items that I always have with me. I have a portable battery bank, and those are all the items that were just kind of floating here along the back of the bag. And then you have some internal organization, a few slip pockets and loops. So here on the right, I have a spot for my Apple Magic Mouse, which fit in there perfectly. Next to that, you have a slightly larger slip pocket, which might be a good spot for something like a pocket knife, maybe a Swiss Army knife or something like that. And then next to that, you just have some loops, which are gonna be a perfect spot for something like pens or a stylus, which is what I have here. I also have a little flashlight, which fits in there comfortably. And then on the back, you have a slightly larger slip pocket. I didn't place anything in this compartment at the moment, but this might be a good spot to put something like a notebook or a Kindle, something that's gonna be a little bit flatter so it doesn't create a lot of bulging for the items on the front. So nice that you have that separation. And then there's also a little lanyard with a clip that's gonna be a great spot to attach something like your keys or a multi-tool. Moving into the main compartment, this is a top loading bag, but I like that the zipper comes down enough that you can get some nice visibility into the compartment to grab what you need. And one thing I want to call out about the bag in general is you notice that it doesn't have a very rigid structure, which I like for this style of bag. So it expands up and molds around any items that you place on the inside if you need to carry a little bit more, but then it kind of collapses down when you're not carrying as much so that the bag doesn't feel as bulky. And then as far as the capacity in this main area with the items that I have, you can see there's some leftover space. I'd still probably be able to toss in a jacket or some additional accessories. Diving into what I currently have here, first up I have my Air Slim pouch, which has a lot of little dongles and chargers and accessories. Next to that I also have my Evergoods Civic Access pouch, which has been one of my favorite organizers. If you want to see how I load this out, make sure to check out the video that I did for this. In the inside, what else do I have in here? I have down at the bottom my Beats Studio wireless headphones with their hard shell case. And then I also have a full-size moleskin notebook. And the last item that I have in here at the moment is my Levitate portable standing desk. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside, and I really like how much this compartment comes up. That's what makes it great for handling bulkier items. And it's also going to allow me to use this for minimal travel. So I could definitely see myself tossing in a larger packing cube, my dop kit, an extra pair of shoes, and then being able to use this for a longer weekend trip. And then the last thing that we're going to take a look at in this main area is on the back. You have a few additional pockets for your devices. So first up, you have this Velcro strap that's going to help keep your devices in place. On the front, you have basically what's a slip pocket for your tablet. Unfortunately, it's not very padded or thick, but it is nice that it at least provides some separation from the rest of the items in the compartment. Currently, what I have in here is my iPad Mini 2. You can see the sizing there. I still feel like I'd be able to fit a larger tablet. It might come up a little bit more, but still a decent amount of space. And then behind that, you have a pretty well padded laptop sleeve. This is a little bit thicker. It feels like it's gonna offer some extra protection. It doesn't feel completely suspended off the bottom of the bag. There's a slight bit of false bottom, but because the bag isn't super rigid, still feels like it can tend to kind of touch the ground if the bag isn't super full. Regardless, it still feels like it has some padding down there. And this is going to be able to hold up to a 15 or 16 inch laptop. Currently what I have here is my 13 inch MacBook Pro. You can see there's some leftover space at the top. So pulling my device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. No sort of fleece lining on the front or back, but it does come up a decent amount. So if you happen to have a thicker device, it should be able to fit in there comfortably, or if you like to use a case with your laptop, you should be able to slide it in. And again, the sleeve is slightly pulled up off the bottom. It's not as much as I would like to see. And with the padding that's been included here, it still feels like my device is going to be well protected while I'm running around throughout the day. So a nice implementation in this main area and throughout the rest of the bag really keeps things simple and effective. And if you're looking for a bag that's going to offer a nice amount of space and comfort and also come in at a reasonable price point, then this can be a really great option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Carhartt Legacy Standard Backpack over the past couple of weeks, and you can currently purchase this on Amazon for about $70, which to me feels like a pretty reasonable price considering the features and the build quality that this has to offer, and it also compares well to other similar items in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the Velux backpack from 3V Gear, which is another solid bag that comes in at a good price point. It has a lot of organizational options. It actually has a pretty tactical aesthetic as it has MOLLE webbing all around, which is going to allow you to configure it with pouches and clips and things like that. It's a comfortable bag. It has a lot of capacity. It comes in at about 26 to 27 liters, so it's going to be able to hold quite a bit of stuff. It has some extra compartments, and so if you're looking for a tactically styled bag or just something that's going to offer a little bit more flexibility at a similar price point, then that's going to be a fantastic option to take a look at. The next bag this made me think of is the Osprey Quasar, which we featured pretty recently on the channel. That is a really solid all-purpose bag. It has a little bit more of a technical aesthetic. It almost feels like a hiking backpack. It has some bungee cords on the outside, but it has a nice organizational layout. comes in at about 28 liters of capacity, so it could hold quite a bit. It has a well padded and suspended laptop sleeve, comfortable harness system. It's going to be pretty lightweight. I think that bag is actually going to offer a little bit better weather resistance than this bag here. It also comes in at a slightly higher price point, but it still can be found for under $100. A really solid, comfortable bag, and if you're looking for something that's going to give you maybe just a little bit more versatility, then that's going to be another great option to keep in mind. Another bag this made me think of is the Herschel Pop Quiz, which is a really popular daily bag, particularly for students. I've used that bag a lot over the years. It has a great laptop compartment. It has a little bit more of a simpler and maybe more classic overall aesthetic. It's got some nice organizational options. It can hold an impressive amount of stuff for its smaller footprint. It's comfortable to wear. It's not going to be quite as comfortable as this bag, and it doesn't have all the same number of pockets, but if you're looking for a simple bag that's going to be stylish and work well, in kind of a class or work setting, then that's going to be a great option to consider. And then the last options that I'll mention here are some of the bags that we've looked at from the North Face recently, particularly the Borealis and the Recon backpack come to mind, as they're pretty close in price to this. They're maybe slightly higher, but you do get a very comfortable harness system and a more solid build quality in my opinion. They also feel like they're going to offer some extra weather resistance, and everything about those bags just feels slightly more polished. You have some extra organizational options, great protection for your tablet, for your laptop, and they're bags that are going to hold up well over the longer term. There's also the North Face Surge, which we've looked at, that has even more organizational options. I really like the pocketing on that bag and the laptop compartment. That one comes in at around $130, but any of those bags, if you have a slightly higher budget and you're looking for a bag like this that's going to offer plenty of capacity, organization, and work particularly well for kind of a student or working environment, then those are going to be fantastic options to keep in mind. With that being said, the Carhartt Legacy Standard Bag holds up pretty well against all those options, and if you're looking for a reliable daily bag that's going to offer a nice amount of space, comfort, and organization while coming in at under $100, then this is going to be a solid option to consider. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of this bag and how it compares to some of the other more budget-conscious bags that we featured on the channel in the past. And if there are any similar options that you think I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank you for watching and supporting the channel, and if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.